The next question,
Sure.
it's very dear to my heart. International students, I was an international student, you used to be an international student. We experience different cultural barriers and language barriers to different extents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just small example, like different communication style in Chinese or Asian culture in general, we are more reserved. We prefer to resolve a confrontational argument in private. But in America, we are like more upfront with our ideas, and people are not afraid of confrontation. So how can students more quickly or better adjust or adapt to the academic environment in the States in general?
Yeah, so it's not easy, and I recognize that, and it varies from person to person, region to region, your comfort with a new language, all of that. I think, and I don't know if it is better or worse today. I cannot. I can only talk about my experience, and it is hard. The cultural differences, in some ways things may be better because of global communication and social media. In some cases it may be worse. So I think there are new challenges that emerge. My advice to international students is typically one, that they should recognize that they belong here, that they have been admitted not through some kind of a charity, but because of their credentials and their success. So they should have a sense of self-confidence in their ability. So that's the first thing, because many of us may feel that somehow we are less good, or absolutely, imposter syndrome, or we somehow don't belong. That is something that I think they should recognize is not the case. They don't have to prove themselves extra, even though they may feel that way, but they should know that they are recognized for their excellence, for their abilities, for their ability to contribute. So that's the first thing. Two is the social network plays a huge role. Both social network of people who you are comfortable in your language, in your culture, and also social network of allies who may be from other cultures and other backgrounds, right? So I think making a little bit of an effort in explaining to your friends how you are thinking and letting them explain to you what they are thinking is important. I think this is something that is underappreciated, that we have and universities and labs and departments have a role to play to create an enabling environment so that people don't feel isolated. But I think students, if they have the ability, and I don't want to put it completely on students because institutions have a huge role to play here, is to rely on their social network, get advice from people who've been here in the system for a couple of years, and it's hard to be open with their friends and their colleagues of the challenges. I'll give you a very specific example. So I served on the university committee against sexual harassment and sort of gender-based harassment, and many students who were coming from abroad would not report it, right, for a variety of reasons, right, because they were worried that if they reported it, they might be sent back, or their visa may be revoked. Whether that is true or not is a separate issue, but there is that cultural inhibitions, and this is not from a particular country. Many international students would not report bad behavior until it gets to a point when it's really problematic, not early on, right? So I think that sense, universities have a huge role to play to create an environment, to create resources so that people are comfortable, people who can speak your language from a different culture, people who are appreciative of different religion and different sort of traditions and can understand that. And the third thing I tell people, and it's not always easy, is to find people who are at a different academic stage and appreciate their culture. So, for example, many students who are Muslim would come to me and tell me about their challenges because they knew I was a Muslim, I was from Pakistan, and they could talk to me perhaps much more comfortably. So making an effort of finding role models, if you could, and it doesn't have to be a perfect role model, but somebody who has gone through that stage can navigate that. Again, these are not solutions, because the real solution is an equitable, understanding, respectful environment. And I hope we are moving, or perhaps going towards that. But in the absence of that, one, we should try to make an effort. And what I've told people is, one of the things that I find most meaningful is to paying it forward. As you move through the stages and success and succeed in life, be a mentor to somebody who's just arrived, somebody who may or may not be in your comfort level, somebody who may be struggling. So that I appreciated people who reached out to me when I was early in my career.
Yes.
And sort of moving it forward creates a community and also allows us to just to be a better person.
You know, I totally agree with you. I feel like asking for help is a strength, and then being vulnerable, being able to speak up, it requires a lot of strength.
Absolutely.